Today I'm showing you something special, a real breakdown from inside my Blender Octane community. Most artists try to learn Octane alone, they get stuck because they never see how artists actually build their materials. But the fastest way to level up is simple. Study the workflow of people who are ahead of you. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. Alex, one of our members, shared his render from the sphere challenge. The material technique inside the sphere are wild. I'm going to show you the full setup so you can steal these tricks and use them in your own render. My name is Patrick LeVar. I've been learning Blender Octane for the past 5 years and teaching everything I know and giving it out for free. And I built a free Blender Octane community where artists get support, resources, and step-by-step help. If you want to get better, jump in. It's completely free to join. Enough of the jibber jabber, let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, we're going to look at some advanced techniques. Actually, I call them advanced techniques because they're advanced to me. It's a really cool here. Let me go ahead and jump over here and show you guys what we got going. Alex, one of our members here, donated this from the render challenge that we did, the Spear render challenge. And I really love how he does materials, man, and they're very powerful, and he uses a lot of the nodes that I never even touch. For example, one here is the composite material node here. Let me just get down and break this down really quickly here. This is one of few that he has these inner spheres and a glass sphere, but this is just the outer shell of this sphere here. And I wanted you guys to take a look. You see we've got an inner and then we've got an outer. So look at what he did is we got two materials on here. The other second material is this rock material, which is right here. And you can see that that's basically assigned to the inner rock here. And then on the outside, we've got like this Egyptian style tile thing here, which is really, really cool. And then that's going to be this material here, which is the symbol material. Now, I do have the resolution turned down because the displacement is rocking 8K. And my system is like, yo, you're trying to record and do 8K. I don't like that. So that's what it will look like with the 8K. And they're nice, clean, and sharp edges, right? But I'm just going to knock it back down to 1080 for now. Actually, no, we're actually just leave it at 2K for now, just while I'm showing you guys the video so I can move around the viewport nice and clean. And matter of fact, that will be the first thing I'm going to actually break down is we'll look here at the displacement here. And if I come in here, I'm going to go full screen for a sec just so you can show you how simple this is. So he's got this right here. Here's our material output. We've got a composite material, and this thing has two materials in it right here. Here's material 1. Here's material 2 and material 1. They're based on a layer stack system, right? So, and then you can see there's a separate displacement. That is one thing whenever you are using displacement inside of Octane and you've got multiple materials and you're mixing them, it will cancel out the displacement. You'll have to hook the displacement up to the material output. For example, even if I show you guys another one here, which we have a mixed material. If I just take a mixed material node, and you'll even see on this mixed material node there is a displacement. So anytime you have two materials and you have a displacement on either one of them, soon as you mix them, the material will be canceled out and you'll have to put it into here. And then the way, I guess, if you wanted to mix multiples, make sure you're using a vertex displacement system. And then within the vertex displacement system, there is an actual vertex displacement mixer node. So this node right here will allow you to mix two vertex displacements. All right, so again, anytime you're doing that and you got displacement on it, it's going to cancel it out. You'll need to do this setup here, okay? So that's what he's got going on here. We've got two materials, material 1 and material 2. And it looks like to me material 1 and 2 are pretty much the same material. If I come in here and we'll re-let that load, and if I come over and I'm just gonna break down really quickly this really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off material 2 and you notice nothing happened. It's pretty much the same. If we turn off material 1, boom, there it is. Now we're just seeing this the displacement. And again, here is the displacement control. I knocked it down to 2K. Again, if I bring that, let's go and bring it up to 4K. You'll see a lot more detail in there. We've got some radius and some Gaussian to blur these lines. Anytime you got like the image is just basically a black and white image. If I scroll this down here and if we load up, what is it, symbol 8K? Let's come in here and let me just, actually I should just copy paste it for easy. Just copy this, come over here and paste this. Actually, nope, come in here, select that, paste that, hit enter, boom, there is the image. Now you notice these edges are nice and hard and very clean. So anytime you've got that going, you need to blur those edges when you start displacement. That's why he's got the Gaussian blur here, displacement with a height of 10. And again, I knocked it down from 8K, which is, this is an 8K map. You can see here 8K for the cleanest resolution. And this is a JPEG image, right? So that's how he's got that going here. And let's go ahead and for a second here, let me zoom out there. Now, if we come back over here, where's it connected? We got a UV transform connected here. This UV transform is basically controlling the shape. And then on top of that, we do notice we have another RGB image here. This one is called symbol 8K. Let's go ahead and load this one in so you guys can see what this one looks like. I'm gonna jump over here and come over here and paste that into there. And this one, you know, some of them are minused out, but this one does not have that grid like the other one had. The other one has, not the columns, where is it at? I already lost the one that I was on. This one has the grid lines. This one does not have the grid lines. And if you notice, he wrote some glow. So this is going to be the glow. We're going to be using this as a glow mask. Again, white conceals, black reveals, or if you invert it, it does the opposite, okay? So now if we come back here, let me give this a jiggle. We're going to notice we've got this here, an RGB texture, and then it's connected into a cycles node. And let's give that a jiggle there again. It connected to a cycles color mix node. And he's got that plugged into the factor, and he's got a black, and then he's got this. This is basically choosing the color that we're going to see here. So if I come back here and turn on layer number 1, which I have enabled right here, go ahead and enable that. Boom, there it is. Now we can see that we have like this emission glowing. And if I come back over here, way back down to the bottom here, and if I go ahead and change this color, you'll see the color changes on that, right? So that's what he's using this for here, is basically our color. And then the black is because it's a mask. So if you don't do that, you change it to black, boom, now it masks it out, right? And everything is being revealed there. Now, again, this is going into an emission node, which is actually showing the color of that. If I put that to 0, it goes to 0. If we go to 100, it should be super bright, right? And I guess he had it at 20. We'll go back to 20. So that already in itself is really cool. Just basically using an emission node and emitting these images on top, but then adding that with the displacement, which I just never really thought about, which is, I love why, that's one thing I love about this community and us sharing files, is because we're able to break, like, I would have never thought about this if I hadn't seen this. And like, I'm grateful to Alex. Thank you for letting me to break this down and look at this here, just to see techniques that we can use in ours, in our work, to help you elevate your skills. Again, you learn from people who are better than you. Okay, I've learned that when I used to play golf, I always like to play with golfers who were way better than me, because I could see their mannerism, how they did things, and it was night and day difference between my growth, right? So again, with that connected to this displacement, it really just brings this out. Because if I come here and unplug this displacement, it's like nah, right? It's nah. But just adding that displacement really, really just highlights the detail, and it really makes it a lot more intricate. Just beautiful, right? So then he's got a second one here, which I'm not quite sure exactly what he's doing with this. To me, it seems like it's a copy of exactly, maybe there might be some minor tweak on here, but it's basically a copy of what we'd have up here, because we're using the exact same material here. And I didn't break down this material for you. Let me quickly show you. Let me just plug this material in just by itself so you can see what this is doing. This is just the concrete material right here. That's all it is this concrete material. Because if I come back here and minus or mute our emission node, let's mute our emission node, and let me give that a jiggle or turn this back on. I'm thinking I would just see just the concrete, right? And we're still seeing the emission. Why are we still seeing the emission even though I have it muted? Let me come back here and unmute that. And that is plugged into emission. So I wonder if I come here and if I disconnect this emission here, will we still see? Okay, there it goes. All right. So boom, that's all this under this what this material is just this concrete material. That's all it is, right? Very simple concrete material. But then this mask that he puts on top that goes into the emission node really brings that to life. Boom, there's the images on top. Now if I come here and plug the second one in to this here, you'll kind of see they're pretty much the same, but I think this one might be a little bit darker it feels like it might be a little bit dark. So there's a minor tweak that's going on here, and that's what he's basically mixing into this composite mixed texture, right? Now, if I come back and plug this back into here, this is, again, all we have is the displacement, which that's why we only see that. And then we also have this. Let me go ahead and turn this one on down here at the bottom and turn that one off on the top. We do have this color, this material mask. He's got this gradient, basically acting as a value. We use gradient color nodes. If you just want a value, like a value node, we use that because it's just a black and white value. So 0 to 1. And again, I'm not really seeing what this is doing. Yeah, I'm not really seeing what this is doing, but it's there for a reason, right? And that's pretty much it. So we plug this other one back into one, plug this back into material, turn that back on, and there's the two materials. And then we've got the displacement on top with the emission coming on top in between and displacing for this really cool look here. And this setup is so simple, guys. Look at this setup. It's extremely simple. Again, composite mixed texture. So we have the displacement of the letters and all the hieroglyphics, right? The concrete material, another concrete material. So technically this could just be the one concrete material, right? And then coming from there with the hieroglyphics without the lines for the emission, put them in the color emission node so you control that with an emission node, and then plugging that into the emission of both of these materials and then into here, and then bada bing, bada boom. That's what you got here. This gorgeous little simple setup here. And there it is, right? With a separate material on the inside, which is very simple, easy. You know, you'll just assign that to a second one when you will come in here into your edit mode, and you'll be able to assign that a different color there. So just a quick little breakdown. I'm going to break down the next sphere. That he has another sphere too with way more intricate stuff going on. It seems way more intricate, but now that I'm seeing his workflow, it's probably going to be a very easy, simple setup again. And I'll show you guys that once I break that section down. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace.